So lots of instrument stuff is being made over here. So yeah, lots of different stuff. Training my military. Trying to get my spear dwarves a little. That's another thing. My military. What I used to do with my military is have them do rounds outside, and I'll probably do that again. Yeah, mead's made from honey. Yeah, mead's made from honey. I make it myself in the old real life in the basement, which hopefully this streaming getup is going to be moved to. But yeah, it's made out of honey. You make it just like you would wine. Well, mead is actually a wine. It's not a frothy beer like some people would think, which is kind of sad, really. I was kind of hoping that it was made out of like a beer type, but it's not. It's made out of honey, and you just add water and yeast, and depending on how much water and yeast you put in, will be how sweet your wine is. So I make what's called sack mead, which is oh, you've tried it before? Okay, so I'm just rambling on about stuff that you probably already know. But I find people are a little shocked when they find out that mead is actually made from honey and is more like a wine than it is a beer, because people have this image of frothy mead, and maybe they did. I mean, you can make mead with malt, which is what they make beer out of, but that's not mead anymore. It's braggot. So that's a bit different. And my FPS is slowly dropping. I was at 30 earlier this week, and now I'm at 15. It's probably because there's a lot going on here if I move to a different floor. Oh yeah, there's gems and stuff in that grate. I would like to get them. Okay, we are ready for this. We are ready for this, I think. Like I said, I wouldn't mind getting those gems, though. I mean, they're just clear zircon, aren't they? Oh, they're white jades. So I should set up a lever. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, I've read a lot, and I've made 6 or 7 batches. I do like mead, it's enjoyable. There's our dudes getting archered up, practicing their archery. Wasting iron bolts. Is that an underground river? No, it's not. That would have been really cool. That's just the bed of the river, and there's the top part, and it flows up here off screen. What's this? I guess a tree grew and we have more logs. Yay! But I don't know why there's... I think it's just clay underneath it. Yeah. I think I just found some more lignite. Yeah. Okay, well that's good to know that there's still more lignite. We've made the hives. What's this? Oh my gosh. What in the name of this? This is where the, what's it called, happened. This had to have been where, because we had that group of dwarves that came and then they disappeared. This has to be where, what happened to them. Like they literally just died here. That's the best part about Dwarf Fortress, is that all your plan is going to go badly. Because all dwarf plans go badly. I had a whole caravan of dwarves come in the autumn, so it was a couple months ago in-game, and they never arrived. They never arrived at my thing. And at my depot, and I was shocked because I was so excited to trade. So something must have happened and they died. Or something. I don't know. But it's all there, and it's all ours now. I'm surprised no one has come to... We could melt that lead cage and get lead, but who wants lead? Copper pick. And this isn't like... No, it's not. So we can trade all of this stuff. Hive. Yep, blame it on the goblins. I don't want to say anything, but the goblins haven't come after me yet. I have the military, but they're not here, which is a good thing. I don't think a siege or an attack would go quite well. I want to see what's in here. Okay, so there's all of that stuff which hasn't been dumped. Hooves and hairs and skulls and stuff. Bones. So what is going on right now? What is everybody doing? Storing items in stockpiles, that's good. Marlene is making plectrums. Kivish is making soap. Okay, good. That means we're getting clothes. It's one of these things where you look and it's like, you need more dwarves to do stuff. Combat training, that's what I want to see. How is the combat training going? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so we got these bow dwarves. Just because they're bowmen, I don't want them to be bowmen, I want them to be hammermen. So it's going to be a while until they, well, they're almost leveled up. This one hasn't done anything. MOMAs. Get going, man. Do your training. Maybe he's got a sword? Maybe he's a swordsman. Maybe he's part of that. So that's good. Marks dwarves. Decent. Militia captain's got a 4 in it. That's good. Spear dwarves are good. The militia captain, he's got to be he's a hammerman. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. That's good. That's good. Oh, what's wrong with this dwarf? He's got a down yellow arrow. That's... He's worshipping. But he's distracted. Why? You've got all the... What in the name of Atesh we have? Unos, the Fort of Bulbs we should have. We should have most of those gods. Badly distracted after being unable to pray to Atesh. Oh, it's because she is so busy mining. Wow, so she's really upset that she can't mine. And none of her family is here. Irib is, her uncle. And you have some passing acquaintances. Okay, finally out of tallow. That's good. Oh wait, it's because we don't have any lye. That's different. So we do have tallow? Oh, we have a lot of tallow, it looks like. Oh yeah, we got lots of tallow. It's the lye we ran out of. Sweet. That's all ash, so we can make lye. How much lye are we gonna make? No, just make 10. So she must be feeling better now. She's praying. That's all filled up like nuts. Okay. Nobody's mining down here? Where is all the rest of the miners? So Rygoth is sleeping. How do I manage a large population? By being OCD. This is what I do. There's a mod called DWARF or Dwarf Fortress Hack, DFHack. And when you have that, you can go into Manage Labors, which brings you to this beautiful screen here. And it has all the jobs right across here and all of the hauling stuff. So what I do is I pick them to do specific jobs and I name them in the profession of that job. So for example here, Rygoth is my lead miner, so he's my #1 miner. He's the one that's in charge. So I go to him and I press E to edit and I go to his profession name and change his profession name to lead miner. And I do that for all the jobs that I need to get done and make sure that that dwarf is doing that job. So I go through and I, for example, my lead miner, he's a miner. Sorry, she's a miner. And I've literally turned off every other job there. Now you think that that's going to cause them to idle, and idling isn't that bad for a dwarf. You don't want them to idle too much, because if they idle too much, then they're not going to do anything. But if you give them the right amount of idling, they will eat, drink, sleep, all of which are utterly and super important. Pray, which is also very important. and socialize, which gives them good thoughts. That's why my miner there has minus 19,000 stress, which is very good. Not as good as Rusty, who has negative 76,000 stress, which is absolutely crazy. The ones with positive numbers have stress, like Nil. So Nil Shemamet, she is fairly stressed, so I need to keep an eye on her. So yeah, that's what I do. So you can see, and then there's ones that I make haulers. So like Lorbam here, I don't need another woodcutter, I don't need another carpenter. So I turn off all of their jobs except for all the hauling. So they're set to be haulers. And then I just go through, okay, we need an engraver, you're the engraver, you're just going to do engraving. And I cut off all the jobs, including all the hauling, except for some, depending on what it is, because I want them to do some things. Yes. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. I had a dwarf that went insane and went berserk and ended up killing half of my fortress. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. So you want to keep an eye on that too. And it's hard to see. So with DFHack, you get to see the ones that are doing well and the ones that aren't. So if I go back to the main screen here, in the bottom right there, it has the happiness thing. And it shows you there's no super stress, minor stress, or like super stress, bad stress, minor stress. There's 81 neutral dwarves, 3 happy dwarves, 2 happier dwarves, and 1 super happy dwarf. So that's Rusty here, and you can see how the colors are showing off what's what. So if there is an unhappy dwarf like Nil here, I can... Oh man, I didn't know that that was a thing. Instead of pressing T, you can press V to view and go into their thoughts and preferences, and you can see all the stuff that has happened with them. So she was enraptured, remembering communing with Atesh, so that's good. That's a positive, or in this case a negative. It'll lower her stress. Satisfied at work, lonely from being away from family. There's nothing we can do about that. Frustrated about not being able to pray, so clearly she wants to pray a lot. So because of that, even though she's a casual worshipper and a dubious worshipper, but she's an ardent worshipper of Atesh, so that means that's something that she needs. She was angry because she got into an argument, and she was disgusted when she remembered retching on miasma. So her skill or her stress is going to go down because a lot of this stuff is just remembering things. She felt satisfied. There's a lot of satisfied and blissful, which is good. Blissful upon remembering dining at a legendary dining table. So that's good stuff. Yeah, it's impressive. The problem with that Berserk Dwarf was that they were a child. And I was more scared of a loyalty cascade, so I tried not to kill the dwarf child. You know, ethics and all, and morality, so I didn't kill them. But then they started killing everybody, and then there was a loyalty cascade anyway, and then they ended up being killed. But by the time that happened, like, you watch something like that with your mouth dropped, like your jaws on the floor watching it happen, because it's so crazy. Yeah. So you just got to make things to make them happy. So another good thing that you do is making sure that where they eat and sleep and stuff are good things. And you put good statues where they're always going to be walking. So I have those statues around there. And I got statues inside some of the so they'll see the statues here in the main hall. Where's my cursor? All the way over there. These statues in the main hall. So this one here is, well, it doesn't show, but they're nice statues. And this is Avus Mimim. That's here. Okay, so she's upset because she's can't pray, but she's a minor and she's got negative 8800 stress, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Yeah, and this also shows you like all the stats and everything of them, so you can really do a lot of really good stuff with it. So it shows you their social skills, which is good. You can see that, and you can see how everybody's starting to be a bit social. There's not very many liars, that's good, except for this kid here. 5 experience for lying. And this one, Ral, and this one, Sat the Herbalist. Right, so things like that. And then what's here? The teacher, student stuff, which is really neat when you're looking for scholars and stuff. And this is all military. So dodger, shield user, armor user, and all that stuff. And then the... Oh, you know, you have to build them. You have to build them a shrine. So you make a room and make it a meeting room. So you make it a zone. You make it an activity zone, and then you make it a meeting area by pressing M, and then it'll ask you what kind, and then when you press L, it'll come up to locations. So you make a location. So this is my tavern, my 2 taverns, and then my guild hall, which needed to be made, and then the temples. So there's for Atesh, the Chartreuse, Rithel, the Bride of Mines, Id, Unos, Bearded Youth, the Fort of Bulbs, Nashus, Datan, and then my libraries. Yeah. So those are the ones that I have because they're the people who pray the most. So if let's just to show you, I'm gonna go over here and just make one. So if I do that, it'll be, so there's an activity zone. I'm gonna make it a meeting area. I'm going to assign a location. So I can make it part of a set location already, or I can add a location. And if I do that, I get to pick. Do I want it to be an inner tavern, library, temple, or craft guild hall? I want it to be a temple. And then this is all the list of all of the deities that the dwarves in your fort pray to. So when you go through them, it'll show you how many worshippers, and it should be organized. It's not organized by how many. So you can go through and see, like the Chartreuse has 42 worshippers, I should probably get them something. But Atesh has 60, so I should probably get something for them. And you go through, and some of them have like one worshipper, so it's like I'm not worried about making them. Right? And sometimes, so that's what you do, and then when you hit, like, that becomes the Church of Builders, and you look here, there it is, and then you can mess around with it that way. So I am going to remove that zone. So I don't want it. And then I'm going to go to my locations and retire that location. Yes, I'm sure. So that's what you do, when you do that with your taverns as well. Do you? Oh, you go to the hospital. No, taverns are done differently. Taverns are... There's a table in here. That one. That when you set the room, you can set it as a particular part of a particular location. And here is the rooms that are set aside for... so I got like long-term residents living there. I'm going to need more rooms though. I just realized there's probably some visitors who don't have rooms. So yeah, that's how you do that to get the temples. And I should probably add more temples because that list was a lot shorter when I came here. And I'm also worried because there is those other gods. So I might make like a generic worship place. Okay. So yeah, they can't because they're at a plum helmet spawn. That's fine. And there's that. We got a lot of gems back, which is good. We can get our gem worker back to do some cutting of gems. That was... my cat was outside, and I don't know for how long. So I got them all settled back in the house. Engravers I don't think they have any engraving jobs right now. No, I'm not going to set up anything big and crazy right now. I do have opinions on them. I think they're awesome. I really like the lazy packs. It allows the game to be a bit more fun in terms of letting you control when things happen and not, and it gives you a bit of ability to make it sort of what you want it to be. And sometimes it's a lot easier, like, because they come with a lot of the mods and stuff that you can get. Just so that it's like really easy to use, so you don't have to fuddle around with like command lines and stuff. So I think they're great. Oh, my cat just stepped all over my keyboard. She's so happy to be back. You can mess around with the graphics because they have a graphics tab, and yeah, play around with the FPS so it doesn't get all crazy. And one of my favorite things is the autosave feature. Just in case something happens, you don't lose like a year's worth if you're playing for a couple hours. And yeah. I just like it. It makes things easier. And there's a lot of other little hacks in there that help out, like Well, I mean, DFHack is awesome. What's going on? Yeah, in the not in this, but in the lazy packs, there's an autosave. Where I think it's under advanced. Yeah, it's under advanced. They tell you like there's all sorts of the different save stuff. Yeah, autosave, man. So I do it seasonally. So whenever there's a season change, I do it because I don't think. Yeah, it's either yearly, seasonally, or none. So I put it on seasonal, which is the most common. Otherwise, I won't be getting any saves, and that's not going to be helpful to me at all. That's what I'm going to add to my to-do list is squad. Oh my, what are they called? Yeah, I want to make a artifact. So we got the bolts. That's good. We're making barrels. They're animals. Okay, I'm gonna slaughter something else. The reason why I'm being so picky about the slaughtering is in previous I have had a whole mess of miasma and stuff, so drinks are up to 337, that's good. Okay, that's what I'm adding. Defenses and chains for the war dogs, because I want them to be not following around but chained up outside. So these blocks we actually... Okay, so there is a decent amount of blocks, so we could actually build the walls in there. Okay. So we're gonna make the tavern nice. I'm gonna add that to my to-do list. Is there an easy way to get sanitary water if you don't have a river available? No. Not that I'm aware of. If you have an aquifer, yes. If you don't have an aquifer, really the easiest way is to dig down into the caverns because they usually have water. But yeah, that's not viable sometimes. So yeah, it's kind of tough. But yeah, that's really the best thing to do. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, aquifers. When I pick my places, I'm almost always non-aquifer. Non-aquifer, try to find a place with a river for that reason. One day I might try to do something in an aquifer, but really I just don't got time for that. I don't have time to be going through aquifers and building and waiting for them to freeze and stuff. I mean, I'm sure it works, but not really. Not really interested in getting it going. No problem, Quellis. Where are they digging? Oh yeah, silly, what a question. Alright, it is, well, not to sound too old? Yeah, I'm gonna say old. Not to sound too old. It's past my bedtime.